Well, it's October 29th. This is a really quick hunt. I just ran home from work, grabbed my stuff, come out here. My GoPro battery is already dead. I've got a little over half on my camera battery, so hopefully that makes it through the night. I'm in the same cornfield I killed that doe Saturday night. The reason being is corn is not very common around here, and with that flood we still have a decent amount of corn that was knocked down in this field, and the deer are really keen in on that. I know it's a limited resource, so I'm gonna hunt it while I can. The wind's not favorable. I mean, it's okay, about the same as last time, and I had one deer bust me back here last time, so hopefully the deer come out from the corners and work across the field. If that's the case, should be fine. We just have to sit here and hopefully we can put another doe down, but we'll see. Well, it's closing in on about the last half hour. Haven't seen any deer yet, but I can hear something behind me. Hoping it's a deer and hoping it pops out soon. Exactly what happened last time. The deer were out really early and then just kind of faded off. Didn't see anything until last light. So, hoping for the same tonight. There's deer here. I'm guessing maybe 10 minutes or so we should start seeing a lot of deer start filtering into this field. Well, I made it. It's November 1st, and the spot I'm going to is not far off the road. That's why I'm carrying all this stuff like this. I only have a little bit to go yet, but need to get in here and set up. I have to carry the laptop, check the camera, because it's on video mode and my phone won't let me do that. So just gotta set up in some brush, hope for the best. Well, it's November 1st. The rut is right around the corner, but tonight I'm trying to fill one more doe tag. I think I have a decent wind. I'm hunting on the ground in a kind of a brushy tree line. Quick check the trail camera. Don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm just gonna get quiet pretty quick here. Hopefully we got a good pattern of deer coming through. I jumped a 8-pointer on the way in, what looked like an 8-pointer. Wasn't real big. Should be a great deer next year, but see if anything comes out tonight. Well, there's about 15 minutes left of shooting light, and it has been a overly slow night. Something's coming. Oh, there's a deer. A buck grunted. I just heard a buck grunt. was getting ready to close it up, and I heard a buck grunt to my left. I looked out in front of me, there was a couple does out in front of me. So I just didn't know what to do, if I should shoot a doe or wait and see what it was. So the does were about 60 yards and they were looking up front. Wasn't long after that I seen a doe that must have been downwind of me go busting out of there, and pretty much all the deer left the field. I looked over here to my left and I could see a deer going through the left, so I grunted, knowing that that was a buck that had grunted up there, I'm assuming. And just like that, a buck started working down this line out in front of me. For right now, it's a possibility I hunt Saturday yet. Either that, or if my knee heals up, I might go to playing a football tournament, but the rut is right around the corner. So if I have to hunt, that's not going to disappoint me in the least bit, so gonna pack up and get out of here. Well, it's November 3rd, and I'm getting ready to head out to one of my places that I can hunt. I had not hung trail cameras on this place until this year, so it ends up being one of my best farms. It's got the most mature bucks on it of any farm that I have scouted this year. There's a big feeding field about 500 yards away. The deer should filter through the woods coming off that feeding field and go into the bedding area behind me. It's a pretty good sized bedding area behind me. I found a pretty good buck bedding area. A lot of rubs in there. There's a scrape. So I'm going to try to set up kind of on that transition from the hardwoods to the bedding area, and hopefully that buck filters through. Now there's a 10 point, 9 point, 8 point. I think there's another 8 point. Several good deer, which I'll be very happy to take if they show up. So gonna get out there, set up, do a hanging hunt, and hopefully we can get a deer on the ground. I've got probably 45 minutes before it gets daylight. I've got probably 15 minutes set in a stand. It should be a pretty easy set. So I want to be there about daybreak, because the deer should be filtering off that main feeding field, and give me an hour after daylight, hour and a half, I should start seeing deer. So, well, it's November the 3rd, and I just got set up just a little bit ago doing a hanging hunt, and I love what I have in front of me right now. I've got bedding down below me, pretty good sized bedding area that I'm hoping the bucks will be cruising, and then I have a bunch of ridges that empty down into that bedding area. I know I am in a buck bedding area because I've got a whole bunch of fresh rubs behind me. There's a scrape out in front of me. Hopefully, if I see bucks cruising behind me, I can grunt them back across over here. So, looking forward to the morning. The rut is right around the corner, if not already started. So, I have a feeling there's a few that are already starting. Well, it's mid-morning. I am freezing. I'm going to go ahead and pack up and head over to what is usually my best farm. This year, I have not got any mature bucks there on camera yet, but I'm going to go check 2 of those cameras, see if something's moved in the last 2 weeks. Hopefully it's a really good bedding area, and hopefully some bucks have moved in and start checking does. So pack up. This is the worst part about these hanging hunts. One of the worst parts. When you're freezing, you gotta pack up this metal tree stand. Oh well. Hopefully I can get into some deer either later on this morning. I will probably still hunt while I'm checking my cameras. Either I can hopefully get in some deer then, or maybe tonight. So hopefully. Well, it's the evening of November 3rd. Got this northwest wind today, so I'm trying to take advantage of that and get into a spot. I've only hunted once this year so far. I did not see anything the time I hunted it, but I know there's some good bucks in the area. I did not know my GoPro was about dead. So we'll be using the main camera a whole lot more. From the looks of it, the pressure on my hunting areas that I have the permission to hunt on has picked up incredibly. So I'm gonna have to start trying to find those little pockets where the deer haven't been bothered. I think that's gonna be key here in a little bit. Looks like there's a lot of pressure on these spots today, but hopefully we can get into a spot that hasn't been pressured a whole lot. Well, I'm getting close to the place I want to set up, so I'm taking the creek the rest of the way just to keep me out of sight from the bedding area. The last 80 yards of this spot are kind of difficult to get into, but if you stay low in the creek with the wind we have right now, northwest, it's about perfect. So just gonna stay in the creek till I get down there. Well, I made it all the way back here to this bedding area. Shot that coyote a little ways back there. Hopefully it didn't mess anything up. I can still hear another coyote yipping and stuff way up there. Anyway, about the place I'm hunting, I am looking right at a bedding area that is on an opposing hillside with the sun on it. It's perfect on really cold days. Today's not really that cold, it's about 50 degrees. But with the rut happening, I'm looking for bucks cruising these bedding areas. Well, so far all I've seen tonight is coyotes, and I've seen a turkey. Just had 2 dogs come out up above me just a little bit ago. So I don't like my chances with deer coming out of that bedding area. It's already getting pretty dark, so I've got probably a half hour left. So I think I'm just gonna kind of still hunt my way out to the front of the property and see if I can't run into some deer. Maybe a buck will be with them. Been a rough day, no deer yet.